Do you guys have a cemetery annual meeting?
There's only me. Our cemetery.
You don't have the treasurer either anymore,
No.
right?
The cemetery's sold out. I mean, there's, a couple of lots that people haven't dropped over yet. Other than that, it's full.
You mentioned that you thought like maybe in 10 years you guys would run out of funds. Is there any type
Sooner.
of financial statement that
I can.
you can provide somewhere? It doesn't have to be, but just something that's on record so we can follow that and make sure
Sure.
that you have the funding that you need going down the road.
Yep.
Okay, so it was very informational. I got to meet a lot of different people and share a lot of information. Let's see. Next thing on the agenda is DNR update. Okay. As you all know, we membership voted down selling the landfill site. I had already reached out to make arrangements to have that area cut and maintained, and I'm sure we or somebody else in the future are going to have to check that area. Carol, I know you reached out to Jacqueline at the DNR. She indicated to me you initially attempted to file a complaint because I apparently wasn't following what you believe to be the guidelines for this type of situation. She assured me that the arrangements we have are sufficient, that there are no requirements that we have to go out 2 times a year, 3 times a year. In fact, she confirmed that this old of a landfill site, these are real low on their priority list for projects because of a shortage of staff and other things going on. And so we took care of that, and at the end of the conversation, she asked you if you wanted to file the complaint, and I know that you changed your mind, but just so that everyone knows, I have followed up on it, I will continue to follow up on it, and we are in full compliance with what is required.
So what are you doing? So what are you doing to cut and maintain the property?
Marquette County is going to be cutting and maintaining the property when they do the regular cuttings. And that was a sufficient arrangement for the DNR. Open records requests. Let's see. Did you want to address your issue now or want me to finish my part? Okay. Carol, you've made numerous open records requests since our last meeting. Let's see, I'm going to provide you with that. Provide you with this. You've probably seen those maybe. This. This and this. Carol made an open records request for copies of the applications that were filed for the LRIP grant and the Eagle Avenue Tri-D grant. I had attempted to explain to Carol that these are online documents that we file, and in collaboration with Marquette County, they do their online part as well. And what the state does is they prepare what's called a project summary. When I explained that, you took issue with that fact, that there has to be an application, the state requires it. I don't know, I don't have copies of all those different emails, but the fact is that the Department of Transportation prepares what's called a project summary. They use this summary to share with other people with the DOT, Department of Transportation, that actually reviews and makes the decisions as to what projects are approved or not approved. I know you followed up with Brian Trebetowski because you didn't appreciate my response. He responded exactly the same. So that is a copy from everyone. That is what the state works from. There is no other application copy to provide to you. Another open records request was made for, hard to keep up with, the SL 308 and the SL 305. I did confirm with other people on the board because I responded to all the board, the records request. And that I had already provided that information to you. You continued to argue, I believe 6 or 7 additional emails that I failed to provide you the information, brought up legal violations. However, when I first responded to you and provided to you the SL 308, I believe there were 3 or 4 pages that you received. And if you merely would have looked at the second page, you'd have seen that the SL 305 is there. Have you confirmed that, Carol?
I have no comment.
Okay. Your behavior and your accusations via these series of emails is unacceptable. I provided it to you in a timely manner. Please take the time to look over the information that is provided. And if you still feel you don't have it, I made an extra copy for you if you'd like to have it. Page 1 is the SL 308 and the next several pages are the SL 305. Okay. Did you want to comment on the open records? Or you want to wait till you report? You're next. Okay.
So I still have an outstanding records request from Attorney Culp. And the amount is $122.55, but he still has not sent a check for it. So I'm wondering what the board would like to do. The last letter was sent out on February 26th. I guess I'm wondering what the board would like to do regarding this records request. It's all put together in $122.55 that's owed.
Any comments? What do you guys think?
I think it should be paid. Questions asked.
So are we looking at giving Carol the invoice and requiring or asking her to pay for it?
I will pay the invoice. The attorney has mailed a payment to you twice, and got me nothing. I don't know, I just know what I've been told. I will pay it tonight, and I want the records tonight.
You have them with you, she doesn't have them with you.
Do you have them with you?
She does not have them
All
with
right,
her.
well, you give me the,
You have to pay first, Carol, as is required. Upon payment, the clerk will put the records together and she will forward them to you.
how?
Actually, what's included in here is a first-class mailing, and that's how she will get them to you. Okay, you can continue with your next report.
The budget amendments, because we've had this work done on the building, I am proposing to move $10,000 from the contingency fund to the building account. Because at the end of May, it was already in the hole, and then there's 2 vouchers for $12.50 and $16.68.50 for this month. And then we have to pay another $16.68.50 for the rest of the gutters.
So 1,600.
1,600, sorry, it'll be 3,200 altogether.
Right.
Plus the $12.50. So I'm proposing moving $10,000 out of contingency for that buildings line item. And then I'm also proposing to move $55,000 over to the transportation line. So that we have the money in there when we have to write the check for the Eagle Avenue project.
We'll have to make motions on that, but just to confirm, we were originally gonna open a separate bank account to put all those funds in. And a couple days after, shortly thereafter, they started the project already. So it didn't make sense to transfer funds for a project that was already implemented. We were not gonna have to hold those funds for an extended period of time. If you've been on Eagle Avenue, there's been a lot of work completed. And I've gotten calls from citizens, both from town of Springfield and Westfield, who are very, very happy in seeing the work completed. I spoke to Gasser this morning, and they need to put another layer of surfacing on it, the signage. They'll obtain the engineer's certificate, and then they will fill in the shoulders a little bit better. So within the next 2 weeks, the whole project will be completed, which is great news, and allows us to move on and identify other projects that we would like to complete. So I think you're looking for a motion to, well, let me ask this, the 17.4 that's already in the budget, can we get that moved?
Yes, that would be.
That was already approved in the budget?
Correct.
Okay. So I'd be looking to entertain a motion to transfer $10,000 from the contingency fund towards, I don't have that account number in front of me. Oh, yes, I do. It would be 118-51600 buildings, increasing that budgeted amount to $16,500. I can make that motion, or someone else
I'll
can
make
make
that
the motion.
motion to transfer 10,000 from the sand and buildings.
I will second that motion. Any discussion? All those in favor? Those opposed? No, none. Passes. Okay, the second motion is to transfer $55,000 out of the contingency fund additionally into transportation.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion. Any discussion?
Can you explain to me what the 55,000 is, what's it gonna be used for?
It's gonna be used so we have the money when I have to write the check to pay for that project.
Well, you're not writing a check tomorrow or this next month, you need to have the 55,000.
It will be written next month, before next month, yes it
So
will.
can we get a projection of how much money is in the account, how much money is needed for the balance of the year, so we can see, is it 55,000 or is it
I'm trying to be
25,000?
proactive. We can always move it back.
Can I
I'm just
finish
trying to be
my question?
proactive.
Can we get a projection on how much money is needed in that account? How much money is spent? To know if it's 55,000 is needed?
Well, it's,
Or if it's 20,000
Right now-
or it's 70,000?
I can answer your question.
Okay,
So right now, we have 320, we have spent 28,052 at the end of May. But our bill for June was $9,362. So we're at 33,428, 12.
You have to keep in mind, out of the GTA monies we get them quarterly, and we've only received 2 quarters of that, approximately adding up to $50,000+. So transferring 55 out of the contingency now will assure that the funds we need to spend within the next month are more than sufficient. We have to allow for normal monthly expenses that come in. We have expenses for road projects already approved up to a certain amount, and that 55 will assure that we are ready to pay that bill on the day that they contact us that it's fully done. and it will be submitted then immediately to the state for reimbursement. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Anything else you wanted to report?
So, just going to say that I will be on vacation from the 22nd to the 30th, and I will not be checking my email, so,
Have a nice vacation.
thanks.
Okay, treasurer's report.
Okay, income, we have $255,865.20 as of May 31st. Expenses as of May 31st, our total expenses was $116 and 95.62.
It's $116,095. You said $116.
I can't even see it, but, okay. The bank statement reconciled was $445,353.04. Contingency account balance as of 5/30/24 was $117,397.75.
Everybody got the bank statement?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as presented.
So moved.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Present.
Aye. What did you say?
Present.
You're present. She's not voting. She's not voting. Motion passes. Okay, next item on the agenda is the voucher report.
Vouchers for June are $23,852.03. Any questions on the vouchers?
No. Make a motion to approve.
Oops.
I'll second that motion. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Present.
No. Okay. Kind of under old business, gave the Tri-G project update on Eagle Avenue. It's really looking good. I was out of town this weekend, so John Bennett's been checking the progress. Because the county is responsible for a small portion from First on Eagle to where we start our project. Marquette County Commissioner's been out there regularly checking the progress as well. Again, it started earlier than I anticipated. It's moving along very quickly. If you get a chance, take a ride on Eagle Avenue. I think we've got a couple of citizens here who use that daily, and it's really wonderful. All right, new business. Liquor license renewals, Tall Pines and Thalkers. I will turn this over to Brenda, and I saw Jeff White come in and his wife. I don't see anyone representing Tall Pines. Okay, go ahead.
Don't really have anything to say. They paid their, Tall Pines has paid $320 in fees, and Thale Acres has paid $525 in fees.
So they're both doing the Class B
Yes, the same. Everything's the
beer and
same.
malted beverage and the Class B liquor license. And each one of them has operators' licenses.
How many are there, Sharon?
I think Thalkers
There's
is
15
approximately
for Thale
15.
Acres.
15?
Tall Pines only registered one, and that would have been for his sister, Janice, I believe. We posted it in the Marquette County Tribune as required. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the application submitted by Tall Pines Resort.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, none. Motion passes. I would like to make a motion that we approve the license application submitted by Valkers.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Jeff, did you have anything you wanted to say?
No, just come on out and take a look. We've done a lot of upgrades since we took over a year and a half ago. Steve Robinson and myself and our wives. Been a lot of upgrades to the golf courses, making it a lot nicer for the golfers, and cut a lot of trees out so the sun can get to the tee boxes and the greens, and just 40 dead ash trees, of course, from the ash borer when it come barreling through here, and took the silo down last week, and the old barn and the foundation of the house, and the outside crew has, of course, looking really, really nice.
You guys got a nice banquet hall upstairs too.
Yeah,
right?
they totally gutted that. If you guys have been there, I don't think they've served meals out of there for about 40 years, but they totally gutted it, took out the horseshoe bar. We made a straight bar that looks straight out at the golf course now when you're sitting there, so. Yeah, so we're doing graduation parties, we've been doing some class reunions, our golf party's up there, so if anybody's looking to have a party, it could be a nice spot to see that.
Potential site if we needed a bigger hall for meetings?
What's that?
Is it a
Absolutely.
potential site if we needed a
Yeah,
larger
we can
hall for
hold- we can
meetings?
hold 75 people.
Okay. I wanted to formally thank you for your donation to the Wisconsin Towns Association Scholarship Program. It was an auction, live auction, where your items were auctioned off and did very well. So thank you again for those donations, greatly appreciated on behalf of the town. Okay. We can move on. 2024 roadside maintenance. Yeah, let me find that, okay. I have provided everyone with a copy of this. Highway Commissioner Brian Trzewiatowski put this together for us. Knowing we were gonna have additional funds and contingent on us receiving our reimbursement for the LRIP and the Tri-D project. And due to the amount of funds we also set aside based upon shared revenue, monies we pull from contingency, the GTA, and the taxes paid by citizens through resolution. We believe we have enough funds to do a number of projects. Virginia Daigle, is she here today? Virginia filed a complaint about 3rd Avenue off of County Highway E. It was already one of the road projects we had identified as a priority. And we have an estimated cost of $43,000. We want to continue and finish the second phase of Eagle Avenue, which is a 2-inch overlay from County Highway 8 to the maintenance line at 3,400 feet, which is approximately 5th, going from County 8 to 5th. That road has disintegrated at 67,000. There's a couple other ones on here we're not really looking at, but there are 3 more that he's indicated priority based on road condition. he strongly recommended that we pave over the smaller areas listed on projects 7, 8, and 9. They need a paver patch. If we don't do it this year, you're looking at patching it every single year until it's repaired. And each time it rains or there's a freeze, thaw cycle, the pavement will break apart more. And so we're looking at project 7, project 8, project 9. And if you recall, I have discussed extensively the need to maintain the roads we're repairing. We're spending all this money to repair the roads. We're not going back out and checking the condition of them year after year. And we're losing years of service on those roads because we don't maintain them. So what we're looking at doing is going back over some roads that were paved or repaired over the last 3 to 5 years and doing routine maintenance on them as needed, which would include crack sealing, filling shoulder drop-offs, riprap, and drainage adjustments as needed. And that's at a cost of $15,000. To me, routine maintenance is something we should be doing every year, and we haven't. And it's something that we should continue. We get a big map every year. We haven't gotten a new one yet. It's something we can keep in this building where we're updating and marking the areas that have been paved and repaired so that anyone can see what we're doing and how we're upkeeping it. And I juggled some numbers. Included some numbers that Brenda mentioned earlier. With monies we received in GTA, tax assessment through citizens through resolution, shared revenue, the LRIP reimbursement, and the Tri-D reimbursement, basically would have started out this year with $454,789.78. Then we move in the $17,400 that was included in the budget, and we subtract the $33,428 that we've paid to date, leaves us with a balance of $438,761.66. Keep in mind when I'm using these balance numbers, it's based on us getting our quarterly GTA payments, transferring the contingency funds we've asked for, and getting our reimbursements from the state. So these are numbers we have to work with, and we have to watch. Obviously, we can't spend outright in cash these funds without getting the reimbursements back. Moving the $55,000 from contingency into roads will help us cover some of those costs so we can get our reimbursements. So the total amount would be $493,761.66. Okay. We're leaving sufficient funds in contingency to cover other unexpected expenses. I have taken that $493,761.66 figure. I have subtracted the projects we've already approved at a board level. The additional cutting and spraying, October cutting, the Dalkey Road Ballards, what we will still have to pay on 4th Street here, and then the culvert repairs, and what we have to pay towards Eagle Avenue. After we deduct all that, we have a remaining $271,942.66 to use for road repairs. So I calculated in the routine maintenance of $15,000, Phase 2 of Eagle Avenue for $67,000, 3rd Avenue priority, $43,000, Ember Avenue priority of $10,000, Second Avenue priority of $13,500, and the Ember Drive priority of $30,000. That will still leave us with $93,442.66 available for road repairs. Now keep in mind, you're still gonna have your other expenditures that come through the county, unexpected expenditures. There's still monthly expenditures for June, July, August, September, October, November. We don't usually include December because it carries over to January of the next year.
Sure.
Did you want to discuss Fourth Avenue?
Could you repeat those roads? And you just,
The ones we're gonna add?
ones that you're gonna do?
Project 4 on that list,
No.
okay? Eagle Avenue right underneath it. Project 7, Project 8, Project 9, and routine maintenance. There are still other projects on here that add up to quite a bit, but you know, in a perfect world, you're not gonna be able to do all these repairs in one season or 1 year. We're fortunate to have the funds available to us this year that we have. And these, for the majority of these roads were and are in dire need of repair. You had mentioned to me possibly Fourth Avenue. What was your thinking on that?
Well, if they're gonna do Elk, from A to Fourth, and they're gonna do this up here, they're here with their machinery. They could finish off the line here with the LREP project and go to Elk. And he's got down here 61,000.
Is it the 64,000, John?
Or no, 64,000. 64,000. You said we got 93?
I've got 93, 442, 66.
That'd be 64. Because I think that'd be, the cost, I think, would be less if they're out here doing it all.
Yeah, it's up at the top of here. They added it.
And it'll still leave us about $30,000.
Now this is the one that extends from Fourth here where we got the LRIP grant that Northeast is gonna provide the hot mix for. And you're saying if we extend that project down to Elk, then that runs into the other project and we save on hot mix and
Because they're all right
everything
there.
else.
They're all right there. They got the machinery, they're all right there.
So that Fourth Avenue piece that you're talking about is not on this list.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's on here.
Which,
It's on the top, very
It's the
top.
one towards the top. It doesn't have a project number or anything to it.
so that's the 64,000.
Great.
Okay.
We wouldn't be looking at the next one. That's from Elk to Edgewood. I don't see that as a dire need.
Yeah, because like this 1,900 feet, project 10, M to J, that's where that dip in the road, that could be done, that needs it too, but who knows?
We have a huge document with roads that need to be repaired that was prepared by the previous boards.
Maybe.
But there's no way we can address all of this.
No, you cutting it short, who knows? You might have some money left.
I mean, our OTA for next year, when they budget it, should be higher based upon our average of expenditures. And the expenditures this year will help increase the government's award for the following year. And then, unless membership votes to rescind the resolutions that are already in place, we have $175,000 coming in for road repairs every year. So that gives you a really great starting base for next year as well.
So I'll make a motion to approve the 64,000 on Fourth, Third Avenue, Eagle Avenue, Elk Avenue.
Oh, no, not that one.
What?
No, we're not doing that Elk Avenue.
That's what I said, I think he's confused.
Yeah, County Highway A to 4th Avenue.
Yeah,
We don't have that included at this point.
you don't have that? I thought you did.
Nope. It's on here, but. I mean, basically, you could say one or the other.
Yeah,
Elk Avenue, County Highway A to 4th, or 4th Avenue, Ember, to County E, which would be the extension of what already is being done out here, through the LRIP grant. I mean, it's gotta be one or the other.
okay. We'll leave off the Elk Avenue on E to 4th. And that Ember Avenue, between 1st and 2nd. 2nd Avenue, South Evergreen, Ember Drive, County J to 5th.
And then the routine maintenance.
And the routine maintenance for 15,000.
Just wanna add that all together here. 242.
Double check.
Yeah, let's just go. $242,500.
What was the number?
$242,500. And then, again, there's only been one time through last year, through everything current, where the county hasn't been under their estimates. And the key here is that based upon how some of these projects connect, we will save money on them being in the area and completing projects at the same time. Not me.
So John made a motion.
I will second the motion. Any discussion?
The Ember Avenue, where it says, pay $500 patch over the broken area on project number 7, was only $10,000. When I drove out on Ember Avenue, it seems like the road is worse than that.
It's a 500-foot patch over broken areas. It may be where, you know, the whole entire section needs repair and replacement. This is what he's recommending based upon the current road condition.
And when did he look at that road condition?
All the road conditions were evaluated when he and I did the road inspections back in March.
Okay, well, you're driving different roads than I am, so, okay.
I'm working off of his recommendations and the estimates he's provided. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Present,
No.
what do you mean, no?
There is an option, it can be,
So you're changing my vote?
Carol, you're voting against it, you're merely saying you're here.
I am not voting
You can
against. I
abstain,
am-
or you can say
Okay, I
nay,
abstain. You wouldn't let me do that last time, I abstained,
which means
which means I'm not voting.
you're not voting. All right, we'll move on. Building 2, rental, lease, and painting. I've had a couple companies already contact me about potentially leasing building 2. What I'd like to do is to prepare a notice for the Marquette County Tribune indicating that we are looking to rent or lease the building next door based upon the size of 48 feet 10 inches width and length of 74 feet 9 inches. There's a couple things we have to finish before entering or get fixed. I need to see this proposal that's coming from Ridgeway on what they've observed and take a look at it. We already know that the boiler has to be replaced. And they are also recommending that the restroom area, bathroom, shower, kitchen area, and a closet inside of the building be painted. The walls are pretty rough. There's things that have been broken off the walls where it's been patched. And right now we have a proposal from them for the total amount of $500 to take care of the painting of the areas that I've described. So
So this
I'm not done. I'm looking for a motion to be considered for preparing a notice and getting it ready to go into the paper for potential rent or lease. I'm projecting approximately $1,500 a month and contribution towards the LP gas and of course the electric, similar to what the town paid before when the former fire department occupied that building. And this will be generated income for the town. The building's not sitting empty. And I think already with the interest that I've received just from people contacting me without us even advertising it would be well worthwhile. As far as this is what they've presented as far as what the work they would do.
This says an invoice. I want to confirm that this is an estimate, this is not an invoice.
At this point in time, this is not approved. It's an estimate, it's not approved. So the first motion would be to move forward with leasing the building.
Get it rented out, get some money, make that motion.
What's the motion?
To rent the building out.
To put it in the paper, that's what the motion is.
Basically to put an ad in the paper that we're looking to rent or lease the building, provide the measurements and other details. I mean, I would include that there's a small office upstairs, there's access to restrooms, shower and a kitchen area that would be shared. That area would be shared, the restrooms with the town, so that we would always have access, especially during elections or meetings such as this.
I made that motion.
Okay? I will second the motion. Any discussion?
How are you going to keep the kitchen area, restrooms available for us and not have us go into the other part of the building? How would you work that out?
Easily change the lock on the door that separates the two buildings.
Okay, so we would
Master key would be in the possession of the clerk.
So we would not use our bathroom facilities or the kitchen facilities.
Not at all, that's correct.
And according to state statutes, the town meeting has to authorize the town board to do leases on buildings. So have you gotten the town meeting approval?
Actually, we can move forward with renting the building without having the entire membership vote on
It isn't
it.
what
And if you wanna pursue that, maybe your attorney can look into it, but ours already has.
I would like to see the opinion from your attorney that says.
It's not my attorney, it's the town's attorney.
That says it's okay to lease the building without getting town meeting approval. I'd like to see that opinion. I don't want to hear you say it. I want to see his
At present, it's a
opinion.
personal and confidential attorney-client privilege document,
It's our attorney and it's
which is,
to you.
does
How's that
not
work?
have to be provided to you. I'll be happy to provide it to you though. But it's not gonna change how we're moving forward. We're going to rent or lease the facility. We're gonna look into it. We're gonna advertise it. Nothing's voted on who it's gonna be, anything like that. We're going to advertise to seek interest if there is sufficient to move forward with it.
Town meeting said no to the sale of the landfill, and we spent thousands of dollars to have the attorney do the landfill material. I would think you get permission to lease the building before you put a lot of money into legal expenses to move out the lease.
The board approved turning the matter over to the town attorney for the landfill site. And that's what it costs to do the
Or did
research,
not
Carol.
do that.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
No,
So,
Sharon-
we will move forward
move on.
and we will vote on the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Then the second part of the, topic is the painting. We had already hired Ridgeway Construction to work on the inside of the building. It would make sense, but to have them complete that project, I'm certainly up to discussion of what everyone else thinks.
Seems like a pretty reasonable price. $250.
It's 500.
250 for the labor, $500 seems to be reasonable.
I'll entertain that motion.
Yep.
I'll second the motion. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Upcoming meeting date, July 15th, regular board meeting, 6 p.m. Make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Meeting adjourns at, thank you everyone for coming, 6:54.